that feels supported for you. So we want to, when we are in a meditation pose or any sukhasana, or even if we are laying down in our meditation, we want our brain to feel alert and our body to feel relaxed and soft. So we are thinking and we are connecting with our breath, and we are not thinking of any discomfort or any strong sensations, and our mind is not distracted there. So we still want to feel alert, but soft and relaxed through our body. So now, as you are ready, if it feels right for you, you can bring your eyes to close, taking your gaze inwards. Or if for any reason this does not feel right for you, you can just bring your gaze on the floor and bring your gaze there and find stillness. So either eyes are closed or they are half closed. And now, as you're ready, begin to find your breath, connect with your breath. Connecting with your inhales and your exhales. Slowly beginning to take slow, deep inhales and long exhales. Feeling the breath moving all the way down through your nostrils into your belly. So feeling this upward flow of breath from your belly, moving all the way up to your shoulders as you breathe in. And then this downward flow of energy as you breathe out. In the beginning, this may seem counterintuitive to you, that as you breathe in, you're drawing the energy upwards. And as you breathe out, you're pushing the breath out, down from your shoulders. And if for any reasons this upward and downward flow of energy does not feel right for you, then come back to what feels right for your breath. Now bring your focus to your nostrils and feel the temperature of your breath. Now bring your awareness down to your chest, feeling your breath expanding on an in-breath and contracting on an out-breath. Now bring your awareness down into your belly, Your belly rising as you inhale, and your belly draws towards your spine as you exhale. Now, your next in breath, bring your awareness to the crown of your head. As you inhale, sit slightly taller. Reach the crown of your head up towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, soften through your shoulders, soften through your hips, finding a sense of grounding here. For the next few breaths, bring your awareness to a point where you feel your breath the most, be it around your nostrils, be it in your chest, be it in your belly, or be it on the crown of your head, or observing the upward and downward flow of your breath. Your breath would be your home base in our practice today. So anytime during our practice, your mind starts wandering off, you can gently bring it back to your breath, back to your home base. Taking a big inhale through your nose and sighing it out through your mouth as you exhale. And whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes if you had them closed, or you can lift your gaze up to come back into your space. From here, we move into our yin practice. So our first pose is your half dragonfly. So first I will demonstrate to you some options that you have with your props to come into the pose, and then you can pick what feels best for your body. So I have this blanket, and sitting on a soft blanket, slightly ahead of the blanket, so your pelvis has space to open up, bringing your left leg out and bringing the right sole of your foot on your inner left thigh, having your right knee open. So this is, as in Hatha practice, we call it our Janu Sirsasana. In Yin, we call it half dragonfly. So the options we have today, we don't want to stretch our muscles in Yin, but we want to go deeper into our connective tissues, which is our tendons and our ligaments. So we want to feel supported because they are very plastic. They don't want to stretch and elongate as our muscles want to. And because we're going to hold each pose for about 3 to 4 minutes, we want to have support. So I have this cushion under my right knee. If you have any tightness in your hamstrings, you can bring a cushion under your left knee for support, or you can bring a blanket, you can bring a roller, you can bring a soft, small bolster, and then you can settle yourself here. If you don't want to keep your left knee extended, you can bend your left knee, plant the left sole of the foot on the ground, and you can stay here. And then once you've found the position through your legs, your options are, we're going to come into a forward fold. So you can stack either just one block If you have one block, then you can bring your elbows on a block, create a little pillow with your hands and rest your forehead there. This is your one option. Or if you have more blocks, you can stack one block over the other to create a little tower and then rest your forehead there. If you feel that you don't need any prop, then you can just rest your hands or your forearms on the mat and tuck your chin slightly in towards your chest, and you let your head hang heavy towards your extended leg. So taking a few breaths here to settle yourself down into the pose, finding where you want to be. So as we come into this yin pose, we want to feel some sensation, but we don't want to feel any fiery, hot pain anywhere in our body. We want to feel like we are working, but not working too much, because as we ride the time of 3 minutes, our bodies will eventually start working. So if everybody is ready, I'm going to start my timer here for 3 minutes, and here we go. So taking a breath in and finding first few exhales to hinge at the waist in beginning and finding our right fold. If you feel you've gone far too ahead and you want to ease down a bit, take a step back. And then coming back to your breath, your home base. And once again, connecting to a point where you feel your breath the most. Breathing in and breathing out. Let's follow our breath and scan our body. So inhaling through your nose, the breath moves up into your forehead, goes up into your brain. And from here, it goes downwards through your spine, traveling through your cervical spine, your T-spine, your lumbar spine, going all the way down towards your tailbone. And then making its way down through your left extended leg, from the back of your leg, back of your knee, down through the backs of your lower leg, comes in towards your ankle, and then through the sole of your feet, it goes out through your little toe. Taking 3 more breaths here. And after your last exhale, slowly walking your hands towards your body to bring your torso up in a tall position. And from here, we'll move into our next pose, and then we'll come back to the other side of half dragonfly. So for here, you can remove the blanket if you have. So once again, I'll demonstrate where we are going. And I'm going to shift the blanket to my left lower hip now. Maybe take it long ways. So it's only my left hip that's over the blanket. And then I'm going to take my right heel either next to my right hip, or you can sit over your right heel. So whatever feels right for you. I'm going to keep my right heel on the outside of my right hip. It helps me to bring my knees together. So we are aiming for our knees to be together. If you have some space there, that's fine. And then take your hands behind you, your fingertips pressing, facing towards your toes, drawing your shoulders down towards your hips, away from your ears. And then you're beginning to lean back. So maybe you stay here, maybe you come down on your forearms, or you can take the two cushions, or if you have a yoga bolster behind you. So you can create this little support. Maybe bring another block if it's still too far away. And then you can lean back and use that as a rest behind you for a support. Maybe take your head back if that feels right for you to open through the fronts of your neck. So taking any of those options that feel right for you today. Maybe you'll come all the way down. And if you do come all the way down, you can bring a cushion under your neck, under your head. So use the way we sleep, you can bring one under your head here. So your knees are not lifting off the mat. You still want to keep your right knee down in towards the mat. So don't lower so much that your knee starts lifting off. And you might feel some strong sensations either in your lower spine or in your front right quad. Once again, if you're left, you don't want to keep your left leg extended, you can bend your left knee and plant the left sole of the foot on the mat and then lean back. And as you are ready, you feel supported, you find your sensation, you can come back to your home base, beginning to connect with your breath. Breathing in, breathing out. We are here for about 15 more deep breaths. And with each breath that enters your body, finding an opening through your chest, through your heart, connecting with your belly rising and drawing back towards your spine as you exhale. Let's follow and track our breath here once again. This time, inviting the breath into your body through your little toe in your left leg. And then the breath wraps from under your sole into your inner ankle, rises through your inner leg, comes to the back of your knee, rises through your inner upper leg, enters through your pelvis, your groin area, into your torso, and then moves up through your abdominals, through your lungs, through your chest, through your neck, and makes its way to the bottom of your throat, bottom of your tongue. Taking about 3 more deep breaths here. And after your last exhale, slowly pressing your hands down into the mat behind your feet. And then slowly tucking your chin in towards your chest and coming up slower than you want to, bringing your torso up, bringing your head over your torso. And then we're just going to take a pause here, wherever you are in this same seated position with your legs. Maybe bring your gaze down onto your mat. Let our blood find its right flow here. And then slowly you can shift your weight onto your left hip to bring your right leg out in front of you. Extend the right leg. Extend your left leg. And then you can gently drop your toes from side to side. And from here, we're ready to shift into our next half dragonfly. So once again, you can take the cushion or a blanket out and bring it right under your seat once again. So you are sitting on your blanket. I'm going to leave my cushions behind, at least one of them, because I have two. So when I'm coming back in my saddle, the next time I have something there. And then bending your left knee, bringing the left sole of the foot on your inner right thigh this time. And I'll take my one cushion from the back and place it under my left knee. And once again, finding what works for you best in this position. So creating a little tower with your props. Maybe your right knee is a little bit more sensitive and doesn't like too much extension. So you have a choice to bend your right knee a little bit or more by completely bending your right knee here. So just playing around with your body. And I think everybody has found some stillness here. So I'm going to start the timer for 3 minutes. And here we go. And as you settle down into your yin pose, coming back to your home base of your breath. In yin, we try to hold poses for anywhere between 3 to 5, sometimes 6 minutes. And the reason for doing this is like after 1.5 minutes, that is your first 9 breaths, your body uses your first 9 breaths to stretch your muscles. And after your 9 breaths, that is after the 9-second mark, your connective tissues, your ligaments, and your tendons, that's when this begin to stretch. So the first 1.5 minutes, it's your muscle stretching. And then the next 1.5 minutes, we are working on stretching through our connective tissues. So when usually we practice Hatha yoga, or we are doing some pauses between our vinyasa practice, we usually don't hold the poses for more than 1.5 minutes, and that's also just stretching it too much. We usually don't hold the poses for more than a minute, that is 6 deep breaths. But in yin, as we are working to stretch our connective tissues, we usually hold our poses for more than 3 minutes. Let's track our breath here as well on this side. So once again, inhaling through your nose. The breath enters through your nostrils, makes its way up into your forehead, then up into your brain. And then it goes downwards through your spine, makes its way down into your tailbone, and then it splits into your either legs. And then we track it through our extended right leg this time, through the backs of our right leg, through the back of our right knee, through the back of our lower right leg, comes all the way down to your ankle, and then through the outer edge of your right foot. It goes out through your body, through your right little toe. Take 3 more breaths here. And after your final exhale, slowly start walking your hands towards your body, slowly bringing your torso up. And we take a pause here. Take 2 more deep breaths. And then as you take your final exhale, you can begin to remove any props. And you can begin to prop yourself up for our saddle. So again, shifting towards your right hip, bringing the blanket out and bringing the blanket or a cushion right under your right hip. And then taking your left heel back next to your left hip, keeping your knees together. And then we'll take our hands back, fingertips towards our hips. Roll your shoulders down and we'll start leaning back. So first we were leaning forward, now we are leaning back. And once again, this side might feel a little bit different because your left cord might feel a little bit different from your right. So adjusting yourself accordingly where you want to go, keeping your props ready, maybe just leaning back and staying there, keeping your left knee grounded and finding your suitable position. And once again, we are here for about 18 deep breaths. Again, you have an option to bend your right knee slightly or bend your right knee completely to bring the right sole of your foot on the mat. You can close your eyes to take your gaze inwards if that feels right for you. We want to feel at ease. We want to feel to be in a zone where we can still breathe. We can still connect with our breath. You might be in a little discomfort through your body, but you should not be feeling constricted in your breath. Breathing into your chest and breathing into your belly. Taking slow, deep inhales and long exhales. Inviting the breath in through your little toe, and then it wraps from under your sole, comes towards your inner ankle, rises through your inner right leg, comes to your inner knee, moves up through your inner upper leg, comes into your pelvic, your groin area, and travels up through your abdominals, through your lungs, through your chest, makes its way up through your neck, up to the base of your tongue, and you exhale it out through your nostrils. Take 3 more breaths here. And after your last exhale, slowly, ever so slowly, start bringing your head up, tucking your chin in towards your chest, using your abdominal muscles, bring yourself up. And as you bring your torso up, take a pause here. Maybe the gaze shifts down towards your mat. Taking 2 big breaths in and out. You can slowly shift your weight towards your right hip and bring your left leg out, keeping your both knees bent and the soles of the feet on the mat. And you can just take gentle windshield wipers by dropping your knees from side to side. And when you're ready, we'll make our way onto our belly on our mat. You can bring a blanket with you if you have any restrictions in your elbows or any sensitivity there. And if you want to go a little bit deeper, we're coming into our Sphinx and our Seals pose. So I'll show you two options here before we make our way into our Sphinx. So one option is you just bring your belly down into your mat and our elbows are slightly ahead of our shoulders. And if you have any sensitivity in your elbows, you can bring your blanket long and keep your elbows there on the blanket so you have some soft cushioning under your elbows. So this is one. Or you can bring a cushion or a long bolster and you can place it under your belly. So in your lower side of your belly to support your lower spine, your tailbone area here. And then you can just lift up a little bit more using that cushion there. So maybe with or without a cushion or a bolster under your lower belly area. And then you can use a blanket under your elbows. And then for our hands, you can have your fingers wide, palms pressing down into the mat, or you can bring your palms to touch, or you can grab your opposite elbows to create a little box. So taking any of those three options with your arms here. And then once you've found the position for your hands, for your elbows, for your belly to be either resting or not resting on any support there, you can tuck your chin slightly towards your chest so your back of your neck is long. And maybe you'll take your gaze inwards, or you can keep your gaze in between your thumbs on the mat. So using first 2 or 3 breaths to settle down and find your position here. And from here, we stay and find some stillness for our next 15 breaths. The practice of yin is as much a practice of mind than it is of body. And it teaches us to continue to breathe even when we are in discomfort. And gently coming back to your home base. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. For the last 6 breaths, you can stay here in your Sphinx if this feels right for you, and if you feel that you're already feeling quite a bit of sensations, then stay here. And only if you feel the urge to go a little bit more, then you can start extending your hands forward and dial your fingers out. So now your elbows are lifted, coming into your seal variation. You can take your hands even wider towards the long edges of the mat and dial your fingers out. And this time your gaze shifts slightly ahead towards the front of the room. Last 3 breaths. And after the last exhale, if you are in seal, gently bring your elbows back down. Walk your hands straight in line with your elbows. And then bring your palms one over the other. Take your elbows out wide and lower your one cheek down onto the top of your palm. Take 2 more breaths here. And through your next exhale, we'll flip. We'll bring the other cheek down onto the top palm. On your next exhale, we'll extend the right arm and we'll bring it towards the next right hip, palm pressing down. And then take the left arm, bring it next to the left hip, and you can bring your forehead down towards the mat. Your fingertips are trying to reach towards your toes, creating space between your shoulders and your ears. Bring your palms back under your shoulders. Press your palms into the mat and press into child's pose. You can bring your knees wide. You can bring your knees towards each other, taking a narrow child's pose. Maybe hands come towards your heels. Maybe hands extend towards the front edges of the mat. You can bring a cushion and place it under your forehead for support. If you are in a narrow child's pose, you can let your shoulders soften and drop down towards the mat. Softening through your shoulders, softening through your back, softening through your hips. So with every exhale, melting in towards the mat.
Taking about 6 more breaths here. Breathing into your back body. After your last final exhale here, slowly bringing your hands forward ahead of your head, pressing your palms and bringing your torso up. Taking very gentle movements here. Maybe taking some neck circles if that feels right for you. Maybe moving your neck in the other direction. Maybe coming into a tabletop to take few gentle, easy cat cows. Maybe just dropping your hips from side to side. Taking any options here that feels natural for you. And as you're ready, we'll come towards the front edge of the mat and we'll bring our spine down, coming into our last final yin pose, and also to close our practice for today. We are coming into reclined butterfly. So we'll bring the soles of the feet to touch. We'll take the knees wide, and you can bring your spine down. You can bring a blanket and place it over you. You can bring cushions under both your knees for support here. If you have one long cushion, you can bring one whole big long cushion under your knees. And we'll walk the heels away from the body. So we have a nice, beautiful diamond in our legs. You can take your arms overhead and create the diamond with your hands by bending your elbows and grabbing either of the wrists. Coming back to your home base of your breath. Bringing your awareness to your belly. Feeling your belly rising and falling down towards the mat. Taking your last 3 big breaths here. And after your last exhale, you can bring your hands down and place them on your belly and take a pause. Gently bring your hands towards your upper legs to close your knees towards each other. And then hugging your knees in towards your chest. Maybe gently rocking from side to side. And then coming into your own kind of shavasana that you want here, either on your mat with your legs extending towards the top corners of your mat, or maybe coming into legs up the wall by using a wall, or just taking and extending your legs up towards the ceiling. Or if you're Shavasana, you want to take on your belly or in a fetal position, you're welcome to do so. Shavasana is our final resting place for our practice. We use those breaths, we use that time to process and digest our practice. We also use the time to reflect back on our practice, to reflect back on our bodies, to reflect back on our breath and our mind. Taking a few more breaths just the way you are. And once you're ready, slowly coming out of any form you're in and finding your way into a seated position. As you're ready, you can bring your hands at heart center, bow your forehead down towards your fingertips, having gratitude for yourself for coming to your mat and doing something so amazing for yourself. Gratitude for your fellow friends who came to share this practice with you. Gratitude from me to letting me guide you in your practice today. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I shall see you soon back in the studio next week. Have a wonderful night. Hopefully, everybody gets to sleep nicely after this practice. Thank you so much for coming in.